Let's go into some injuries from this past week. Tom, we'll start with Hayden Hurst, tight end for the Ravens, dealing with a foot injury.
Very disappointed I can't troll Cam right now because Cam is on vacation because he would have been mad.
Please still troll.
Cam, your tight end got hurt again, who I know didn't want to draft in the first place. 3 to 4 weeks, it is a stress fracture in his foot, so I'll be cautious and be like, hey, let's see how he actually recovers from that injury. So we'll put Nick Boyle in there as your starter. Mark Andrews can also contribute. Maybe this actually allows Max Williams to hang out for an extra season if they want to go 4 tight ends.
R.I.P. Max Williams. That's Max Williams with 2 X's, mind you.
I thought he was going to be really good.
I did too.
I was just wrong.
Yeah, him and Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and then Jason Morrow as well. Just a bunch of these receiving tight ends to go high in the draft, just not working out at all. Mark Andrews, obviously their other draft pick this year at the tight end position. He's looked all right. He's looked a little bit overwhelmed so far.
Don't think you needed to take 2 tight ends in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that didn't seem like a good one. Another Ravens player, DeShon Elliott, the former safety out of Texas, fractured forearm, rough stuff.
He might come back late in the season. I think what you'll see the Baltimore Ravens do is carry him through 53-man roster cut, which is coming up later this week. Then they'll put him on IR, giving them the option to say, hey, cool, we'll try and bring you back later in the year, potentially give you an option there to be one of those IR guys. But a tough break there for Elliott. I think he was going to make this roster. I liked him coming out. I thought he was going to be a good backup in year 1 for the Baltimore Ravens. Folks, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel, the internet's #1 app for daily fantasy. A special offer just for you guys. If you put down the minimum $5 deposit, head to FanDuel.com/chatsports. They'll give you a $20 bonus on your first deposit. You put in 5, you walk away with 25. Free money.
Tom, I'm sure a lot of our viewers have a case of the Mondays. Do you know what the perfect cure is? Just $20 free. Yeah. $20 free, the perfect cure for the Mondays. Use that promo code, people. Get some free money. Let's go to our next injury here. Olivier Vernon, I talked about it this morning on the Cam Rogers show, dealing with an ankle sprain and didn't quite get that high ankle sprain. So they're going to be able to keep him around, but an injured ankle, now what you're looking for.
There was a report that it was a high ankle sprain, and then it kind of looked like that's what it looked like at first, but when they did further testing on it, it's like, no, it's actually an ankle sprain and then a bruise high on the ankle, which is very unusual and not something I'm familiar with, but it makes his roster status for Week 1 very much in doubt. I don't know if he's going to be able to go in Week 1. And if he can't go, Harris, that's a big concern for the Giants as they move to a 3-4 scheme where their next best passers are going to be Kareem Martin and Connor Barwin. That's not a great look at linebacker for the Giants.
Though I will say this, it will give them a chance to see Lorenzo Carter in action, one of their higher draft picks out of Georgia, guy I really liked coming out. He will be able to step in and maybe give them a little pass rush help. Though, I mean, this entire front seven, for as good as Vernon is, I mean, it all has to do with how Alec Ogletree ends up affecting this defense. I mean,
he has not looked good in coverage.
No, he has not, which not a surprise, seeing as he's never looked good in coverage, and that's always been his biggest issue. So, not good for Olivier Vernon coming up with that injury so close to the season. More injuries for the Giants. How about Evan Engram? A concussion for him suffered against the Jets. He's in the protocol, getting a little better. Is he going to play Week 1?
I think given that he has over a week to get healthy, I would assume that he plays in Week 1, but it is concussions. We know that those can be tricky, that those can take longer. They can take shorter to get out of that protocol. That's the nature of a head injury. I would say it's more likely than not he's able to go in Week 1 if he's progressing and is able to, be on the field, be in the sun, and all that kind of stuff. Because light hurts when you've got a really bad headache. I can tell you that. So I think Engram will be able to play in Week 1, but that is worth monitoring for the Giants, of course.
And if you're the Giants, of course, you're not really sure if you're a playoff team this year, but you might just want to play things a little bit close to the chest with such a young and fantastic player. Guy had a great year last year when everyone was injured. He was the star of that offense. Got another injury. This one just came in. KJ Wright, the linebacker for the Seahawks, got a knee scope today. Not great.
Another one down for that Seahawks loaded defense that is no longer loaded. So KJ Wright, at least according to Pete Carroll, after the Vikings game was like, look, my knee doesn't feel right. So they went ahead and got it scoped to try and clear out whatever was bothering it, get it figured out. So his Week 1 status is in doubt. With a knee scope, let's just call it 2 weeks away from Week 1 of the regular season, I don't know if he's going to be back in time. It might be a sit-out Week 1, maybe Week 2, and then come back fully healthy. But I think they're trying to be preemptive here, have a short, minimal invasiveness knee surgery, and then get him good to go for the rest of the season.
KJ Wright, one of my favorite linebackers in the NFL.
Dude's a stud.
Don't hear about him a lot, but he needs to be talked about a little bit more. Let's talk about a guy who just – not even for good or bad reasons, this always seems to be in the headline. Reuben Foster dealing with a concussion. This dude just can't stay healthy, Tom.
Mike Shanahan did not commit to ruling him out for Thursday's game. Oh, yes, Kyle Shanahan, excuse me. Did not commit to ruling him out for the game against the Chargers, which seems surprising.
Odd.
But I would assume he doesn't play in week 4 because why would you risk it? So I think he'll be good to go for week 1. I don't think we'll see Foster though the rest of the preseason. Not that he was going to play much anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, starting middle linebacker has concussion, plays in 4th preseason game. That doesn't seem like a good conclusion.
Against the Chargers.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
don't do that, Kyle Shanahan.
I don't think it makes much sense.
This is a good coaching lesson. Don't play him. That's not a good idea. Let's go into someone while you were actually on air during our Cowboys watch party. Kavon Frazier dealing with a separated shoulder. Not expected to miss time right now, but
I think he'll be fine. This should just be a separated shoulder for Kavon Frazier. I don't think he's going to miss any time. He said he could have come back in if he actually needed to. The issue is for Frazier, though, is that you look now at this Cowboys safety depth chart. There's nobody who hasn't been healthy or is just bad. Like, Kavon Frazier is a number 3. I think Jeff Heath is a borderline number 2, not a guy you want as your best safety, which is what he is right now. Because Xavier Woods also likely out for week 1 with a hamstring injury. Cam Kelly, Tyree Robinson were undrafted rookies this year.
Aye.
Marquise enough has been banged up as well, but he was awful in week 3 against the Cardinals. And Jerron Johnson is just not a very good football player.
I'm convinced.
He was coaching high school football when the Cowboys signed him.
I'm convinced that you made up those last 2 names.
Those are real people. And Huff played quite a bit of snaps. He did a good job of being able to be on the field, but he is not going to make this roster. I think we'll see the Cowboys in particular look for a trade or a waiver wire addition, if not multiple, once we get to roster cut down time.
Tom, you may say those people are real. I don't believe you. But do you know what is real? What? How comfortable these Mizzen+Main shirts bring us along here on NFL Daily today. I can't get enough of these shirts. My entire closet is full of them. Head to comfortable.af today because they are comfortable as F. Tom, you and I love these shirts. In fact, you and I love them so much, we actually get our own switched up here in our dressing room.
No, I put my name on the collar now. To avoid this, because you keep stealing
all
my
your
shirts. Yeah, exactly.
All your shirts. They're just too good. People go to www.comfortable.af to get your Mizzen+Main shirt today. Don't only have button downs, by the way. I have a lot of other comfy clothes available. Let's go to our last injury here. Marqise Lee. Tom, these don't bend that way. They do not bend that way. That was gross. Nasty knee injury, damaged a couple ligaments. He's done for the year. He was done for the year the second he hit the ground.
We aren't doctors. Most people on Twitter are not doctors, but everyone who saw that play knew that dude's season was over. And that sucks for Marqise Lee. I like the player. I like the talent, but he is not going to play this year. Of course, the Jags have announced that. Damage the ligaments at this point and say, hey, get ready, get healthy. Hopefully you can help contribute next year because he's going to miss some serious time there.
That's what I like to call a nope injury, which means you watch the video once and you go nope and you instantly close Twitter. You want nothing to do with it. Tom, I got a question before we move on here from injuries. Are the Jaguars actually a Super Bowl contender? I can't figure it out.
The defense is.
That's not how that works.
It worked for Denver with the rotting corpse of Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler.
At least they had like Demaryius Thomas and OG Eric Decker, who nicknamed Eric Decker and now is retired, by the way.
But, I mean, he's certainly not. I don't trust the offense. I trust the defense. I think they're going to compete in the AFC, but you can't make me pick a Blake Bortles-led team to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Fair. Give me a Y for a yes or an N for a no.
Sorry, Jags
you
fans.
think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a legit Super Bowl contender? They're my fun team this year. They're going to be fun, but they're not going to actually win anything.
You feel like defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Leonard Fournette went number 4 in my fantasy draft the other night.
That does not seem like a good decision. That's not
know,
great.
Right?
They need to listen more to Mitchell Renz, our fantasy football guy, to not make terrible draft picks like that.